What's going on, y'all? Today we got audio proof reveals Shannon Sharpe may not really believe LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, man. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the James Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have an interesting episode for you guys. You definitely want to stick around for it, so make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as all of you guys are fully aware, we produced a live yesterday, right? And that live was basically addressing Nick Wright releasing the final spot of his top 50 players in the last 50 years. And at the end of the list, at the top of the list rather, he had LeBron James ranked number 1. So that's where all of this is really beginning. Now, this morning, I was going through some of the comments from our viewers, and one of them left a very peculiar comment that immediately caught my attention. He said, Shannon Sharpe is on record saying that MJ is the GOAT multiple times when the show first started in 2016. That's what he said. So essentially, it was that comment that really prompted us to really take this thing a little, a step further and really do some research.
Okay, Shannon Sharpe.
So what I did was rather, I decided to do some research, because I said in that live, and I'm going to say it again, I don't really believe that Nick Wright and Shannon Sharpe believe half of the stuff that they're saying when it comes to LeBron. I just don't believe it, right? There's a lot of things, there's a lot of events that cause me to think otherwise. I don't really think that these guys are being sincere based on some of the things that they have said. So I started doing my research, and this is what I found. I found a clip of Shannon Sharpe back in 2016 on Undisputed, basically explaining to Skip Bayless what it would take for LeBron to equal or surpass Michael Jordan. And the question back then was, to give you guys some context, basically the question of that segment, or what they were talking about at that time, was if LeBron won 3 championships in a row. This question was asked in 2016 after he just won the championship against the Golden State Warriors when they blew that 3-1 lead in the finals. So that was the question. If he wins 3 championships in a row, will he pass Michael Jordan? That was the question, and Shannon Sharpe proceeded to answer. But before we play his clip, we want to. This video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the sponsor of the T-Wolves. So check that out, and then we'll come back. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity.
Get your money, my buddy. Get your money.
Channel. Thank you. So here's what Shannon Sharpe had to say back in 2016 when he was asked about it, and he himself said these are the things that LeBron is going to need to do in order to eclipse Michael Jordan. Take a listen to what he had to say here.
Yes, LeBron won 3 straight titles when he passed Jordan. Yes, because I believe he will win an MVP. I said he'd win MVPs. He's already won 1, so he'd have to win the next 2 finals to get to a 3-peat. I believe he will win the finals. Not the finals. I believe he'll win the MVP, a regular season MVP, this year. I believe he will be the MVP of the 2 finals. So that would give him 5 regular season MVPs, 5 final MVPs. Also, he'd be in the top 5 in scoring if that were to happen. Reason number 2, and I think goes unnoticed, he broke up the Detroit Pistons. They had gone to 7 straight Eastern Conference Finals. He went on that run, scored 48 points, the last 25. He broke up the Big 3 in Boston, ran it out of town. He broke up Oklahoma City's Big 3 before it could even get started. You remember they had James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Russell Westbrook all on a team together, and he broke it up. He beat the all-time greatest regular season team in NBA history, 73-9. He beat them, came down from 3-1 to do it. And you keep talking about what Jordan couldn't do, or he wouldn't have let it happen. You are where you are. There's not, like I said, he can win the next 5, and you're not moving him. He's going to end his career with more points than Jordan, more rebounds than Jordan, more assists than Jordan.
Great. He's a great player.
And I believe, Skip, if he can get 1 more MVP.
He's better than Michael Jordan. Go ahead and go there.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
He gets 1 more MVP. He gets 2 more titles. You and I are going to have to revisit this discussion.
Well, that's what I just said it.
We're going to have to revisit it. Because right now, as we sit, no, he's not. But he wins another MVP and 2 more titles.
Okay.
Hey, I gotta give up all my Air Jordans.
Okay.
All the pit crews, all the mirror.
That's
I'm
fine.
doing
You're
all
going to force me to revisit
You're not about to put no little bras in your feet to walk out the door.
2010
Stop.
last series included.
Don't do that.
So
Don't
you
try to
heard what he
compare the
had to
feet.
say
You can't. You literally cannot compare
back
the
in
feet.
2016. So let me ask y'all a question. Since 2016, what has LeBron done? Well, I'll tell you. Since the year 2016, since he beat the Golden State Warriors, LeBron has won a Finals MVP and a championship, and that occurred in the Orlando bubble in the year 2020 and 20 rather, when they beat the Miami Heat. And oh, by the way, since we talk about the competition or lack thereof that Michael Jordan faces, what these guys like to talk about, it's funny how no one mentions that LeBron captured his fourth championship against a depleted Miami Heat team.
I know what I'm talking about, though.
Where at one point, what's his name? Tyler. I forgot the guy. The rookie at the time was the one that they were starting. Tyler Hero was the one that they were starting, and nobody said a mumbling word. But they got the courage to talk about, MJ didn't play against any competition. So that's what he said back in 2016. And since then, LeBron has only captured 1 Finals MVP and 1 championship. So the question then becomes, why did he start saying in 2018 that LeBron James was the GOAT? That's the question. I'm gonna ask again. Why did he say in 2018, when LeBron hadn't won another title, why did he start saying that, LeBron James is the GOAT? I'm going to repeat what I said in that live, and I'm going to say it again. I don't believe for 1 second that these guys mean what they're saying when they're talking about this stuff. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. Not even for a second. These guys haven't given a reason, even according to their own standards that they set, to justify them saying that LeBron is the GOAT. Now, to Nick Wright, yesterday in that live, we brought up something that I'm going to bring up in this video here. In that live, he said that in 2011, in the live, in the live we were reacting to what he said. He said in his video, basically, that the performance that LeBron put forth against the Golden State Warriors in 2017 erases what happened in 2011, which I thought was just absolutely preposterous. So let me read what Nick Wright had to say on Twitter back in 2011. He said, on May 27, 2011, in regards to the LBJ versus MJ debate, there is no debate. MJ, greatest player ever. LBJ, not yet in top 10. Could change in a decade, though. Those were Nick Wright's words. Those were his words. So how did all of a sudden in 2016, how did he go from not being in the top 10 or barely being in the top 10? How did he go all the way to number 1? And how did Michael Jordan, if you knew in 2011, was the GOAT, how did Jordan drop from number 1 to number 3? None of this, folks, makes any sense whatsoever. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely feel like they, what you get in the game. Like, I feel like at that stage when you on ESPN, all that, talking about LeBron and the MJ debate, and you on one side, it's kind of hard to switch over to the side. You can't really just be like, just contradict yourself. They got to keep going with it now. At this point, they can't just stop. Be like, but I know, I was bugging. They can't do that. They too far, too deep in. They're supposed to be professionals, so they're supposed to know what they talking about. So there's no really I didn't know what I was talking about. My fault. MJ is a GOAT. I was just saying that. No, you can't do that.
These guys are confused.
Can't.
They're confused. This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you try to argue with the wrong people against MJ as the GOAT. You picked the wrong guy. I can understand if you brought Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Or maybe some people will want to bring Bill Russell, whoever it is. That's a little bit more palatable. But when you start bringing LeBron James to the table, you resort to start doing ridiculous things like this. And let me address one final point, because some people seem to be under some type of illusion. Let me address one final point quickly before we end it here. During the live, someone said, but who did MJ face though? Who did he face? I'm going to repeat it for the very last time. Please. This is not my opinion I'm about to give you. This is just the facts. LeBron James in the playoffs is 10-9 versus 50-win teams. Let me say it. I wish I could say it in another language. He is 10-9 in the finals. In the playoffs. Okay? That's the level of competition he has faced. MJ is 20-7. 20-7. I think it's safe to assume that 27 is more than 19. I hope you guys are able to understand that. The rest of the NBA fans seem to grasp that quite easily. They can get this simple arithmetic. You guys, for whatever reason, cannot. That's the first thing. LeBron, let me say it again, is 3-4 in the playoffs against teams that are against 60-plus win teams. Jordan is 7-2. So it is clear to see that MJ faced tougher teams. I hope that's not too complicated.
That's a fact. And then I realize some crazy Brown fans gonna switch it up and be like, oh, well, MJ was playing against whatever they like to say, plumbers and what they were saying, janitors and all that. Come on, bro, you can't do that. That's a false argument. You know, MJ played against who was in front of him. He played against his competition. You can't be mad because he dominated his era. You know, and that's just how I see it. It's dominance over your. If you dominating your era, it is what it is, man. You born in that time. You know what I'm saying? You got the same plate as them. You know, you just finishing more food. You just hungrier. You know, chill. A little quick analogy, man. Get up out of here though, man. If y'all enjoyed, click on the last reaction. Know what to do. Turn on post notifications. Share the video as well, man. That'll definitely help. Share the video, y'all, please. I'm out there.